Linus Tech Tips coverage of Computex 2013 is powered by Western Digital. Our trusted gaming gear partner is Corsair Vengeance, and our trusted retail partner is ncix.com. Guys, we're here at the WD booth at Computex 2013. It's day 2. This is our home base, and there's a bit of a team meeting going on here, some photo opportunities. I just want to remind you guys, we've got a ton of giveaways that we're doing in collaboration with WD. You can check out the WD homepage. They've got a link to all their videos. Or you can click the link in the video description to the Linus Tech Tips forum where there's full details. We're giving away internal drives, external drives, full-blown gaming systems. But we're not going to be talking about gaming systems in this particular video. We're going to be focused on the slim, thin and light, 2.5-inch WD drives that are available in some pretty new and interesting configurations. Let's go have a look. Now, these are the drives I alluded to before, where we're pushing the envelope in terms of the storage available in these slim form factors. Now, for a long time, we've had very thin devices. I mean, iPads and iPods and iPods and whatever else there happens to be. But the problem is that they all rely on flash, which is fast and it's shock resistant, but what it isn't is high capacity. Now, this is a traditional 9.5mm drive. Can I get my lovely assistant to hold up a slim notebook for me here? That clearly, with all the other things that need to be inside, such as the keyboard and touchpad and PCB and all that stuff, that clearly wasn't going to fit. So that is where slim 7mm drives came into play. So we were able to get reasonable capacities into these form factors. The problem with 7mm drives was they still weren't that high capacity, and the fact that, well, they still weren't really thin enough for some of the devices people wanted. So WD completely re-engineered the 2.5mm drive to make it more shock resistant. I don't know if you guys saw that fall, but it is still as shock resistant as one of the larger drives, and they're able to achieve new capacities in 7mm as well as a completely new form factor, which is the 5mm drive. So this right here is a 1 terabyte device in a 7mm form factor, and this guy right here is a 500 gig drive in a 5mm slim form factor. So how do you do that, the question might be? Well, number one is instead of using a metal top, they're actually sealing the top with a plastic coating. Number two is changing to a micro PCB. You know how I mentioned that the drive won't fit in the notebook because of all the electronic components that are all over the bottom of it? Well, WD went, okay, well, the bottoms of our drives are covered in these things, so I guess let's just cover less of the bottom of the drive in it, and then we'll have more room for platters. So the main difference between the Ultra Slim, which is the 5mm, and the Slim, which is the 7mm, is that this one has 1 platter inside for 500 gigs of storage, and the other one has 2 platters inside for 1 terabyte of storage. Now, robustness is so important for these form factors. I mean, check out this tablet right here. Go ahead and lift this up for me. I'm going to do my trademark phone thickness comparison here. So you are actually talking about a device that has a hard drive inside it that is not much thicker than a smartphone. This is an HTC One, so it's not exactly a brick by any stretch of the imagination. But what does that mean for the ruggedness and the robustness of the drive itself? This new design actually increases the resistance to damage, whether it is from touching the top of it, which makes no sense to the layman like me, because I look at this thing and I go, holy crap, I can actually see the outline of the components inside. It doesn't even have a metal cover, but it actually improves the ruggedness of the drive compared to a metal cover, which is just mind-blowing. So these tablets right here are actually showing a number of drop tests that were done by WD's engineering team, where they basically go, okay, let's drop it, let's play catch with it, let's do all these stuff. And what happens is the heads actually park, and you can even, they actually want us to do a demo, maybe one of the other days, we'll see if we can get a tablet that we can drop. But you can actually play back media files uninterrupted while the heads are parked on these hybrid drives. So this right here, we didn't talk about this yet, these are the black drives. So they are SSHDs or hybrid drives that implement this new technology, so we can have up to a 500 gigabyte Ultra Slim or a 1 terabyte Slim. But not only do they have all the drive components on here, they've actually put NAND flash as well. Anywhere from 8 gigs to 16 gigs to 24 gigs is available on these hybrid drives. So right now, you're going to see these in OEM devices only, but it's extremely exciting to see some of the stuff that we have on demo here. Actually, that one I can't lift up, but hopefully you get the point. Now behind me here, I have 3 glass showcases. This one was impressive and sort of, yeah, WD, that's pretty 2012 there, what you got going on. So this is a 1 terabyte, 9.5 millimeter drive. This uses the old design. So they got the big metal cover, single stage actuator. You got a couple platters in there. And then check that out, that honking huge PCB. I mean, how did they get away with that kind of inefficiency before? I'm just messing with these guys. But the reality of it is, these new drives for 2013 have been completely re-engineered. So you see that plastic coating on the top? Underneath that is an extremely thin piece of what they're calling a micro metal. It's so slim and thin that it still protects the drive and in fact gives it that ruggedness, but doesn't take up extra space. Next, we've got a dual stage actuator, which improves the accuracy of the drive, the ability of it to read from the platters. We've still got 2 platters inside the drive, and then moving down, this is where a lot of the innovation actually happened. That PCB design you saw before with all the extra stuff, they got rid of everything, miniaturized everything, and they were able to get the PCB completely out of the way of the spinning platters themselves, reducing the thickness again. Now, this guy right here uses the same technology. This is the Ultra Slim, so that's a 7 mil you're looking at before, right there. And this is the 5 millimeter. So I'd like my lovely assistant to come in here and show me how slim a 5 millimeter drive is. This is an HTC One, so you can pretty much store 500 gigs of storage in this, or you can store, like, you know, your contacts and your cell phone. And I mean, these are impressive too. You got to give them some credit, right? So there you go, guys. This is our day 2 coverage of the WD booth, focusing on their ultra slim and slim drives available on 500 gig and 1 terabyte capacities. Don't miss any of our Computex show coverage, and don't miss any of our WD videos for a chance to win awesome prizes after the show.